That's all
How
wrong.
is that? Yeah, that almost all of that is wrong, man. Well, we're going to shift past that for a second. So you take the view that like Christianity is false?
Yeah.
See, this is
I
your
mean, look,
calling.
I don't really debate this
That is
topic.
your calling.
I don't really debate this topic, but like,
Wait,
what
can
if
you
I just
imagine
think,
being Christ in heaven and you see like the person who believes in you saying, I don't really debate this topic. I don't really debate this topic.
Oh shit! See,
Okay, I'm
Was that
imagining
like-
this. Okay, I'm
This
Christ
is-
in heaven.
this
Like,
is-
you're
this
saying,
is-
like,
demolished right now.
was that supposed to be some sort of like gotcha moment? I just don't really
It
debate.
was.
I mean, like,
It
how do you
was, and you
respond
did
to,
get
like,
got.
how do you respond to like some sort of Bayesian argument, right? Given the fact that there are like, widespread miracles, like for example, the Lady of Zetiun, for example, right? How would you respond to those?
Happened?
something. I reject the
I mean, like,
priors.
Zetiun, Lady, or I mean, I don't know why you reject the
Yeah,
priors, but
I've heard of all of these. Like, what's the evidence that it actually happened?
that was that. Yeah, wait, I don't know what you mean to say that it actually happened. Evidence that people saw these things.
Yeah, can I get like some sort of
Wait,
like
no,
scientific
those are
verification?
I
evidence.
mean, like,
Happened.
you can,
Like
like, you can, like,
I
read
guess
it.
my priors for like some people lied are just way the fuck higher than, we saw Mary on a rooftop where there was like blood pouring out of the statue, right? Like,
Also-
unless you can provide me like some sort of like independent scientific study,
No, but there was
or
a funnier
some sort
thing
of like
there.
secular
Wait, so
verification.
is your priors for like hundreds of people lying is higher than there just being a Marian apparition? I mean, like, why?
Oh yeah, because the one person who went out to see it, who tried to verify it, this person saw nothing. A lot of the people who went there also saw nothing, and they were selling merchandise of it. They were selling pictures. The picture that's famous of the Mary apparition was literally sold by tourist stands.
Wait, so hold on, I'm unclear. So you're saying that because one individual went there to test it and they didn't see anything, that therefore disregards the testimony of the hundreds of other individuals that did see
Yeah,
something?
it's because every individual who went to verify it scientifically, to independently verify it, didn't find anything. All the people who had like a desire to verify it academically couldn't find anything.
I mean, no, that's not even true. I mean, look, if you look at the Wikipedia
Can I
article,
study that? I would love to get the study then, please.
If you look at the
You'll convert me
Wikipedia-
right now. I'll say like the Christian Shahada like immediately.
if you look at the Wikipedia article, it says the only secular English language account of the event was provided by Cynthia Nelson. So she's even secular. She has nothing in her priors that make her.
She didn't see anything, dog. That's the person
Yeah,
I'm
I know.
talking about. She
She
did
says-
not
she
see
says-
anything.
She says the source of the light was a mystery, for the streetlights had been disconnected all around the church for several days. So even if she didn't see exactly what the other people were seeing, she still proclaimed that there is something mysterious going on. And a mystery just
But
that
she
which
didn't
cannot
see
be
it. You
explained.
just conceded that she did not see it.
Okay, wait, did you understand any of the words that came out of my mouth, or only some of them?
Yeah, she's saying that there's something there, that it could be like something involving the light. And I grant that it could be something involving the light, but something involving the light isn't Mary.
So what I said is she may have not seen exactly what everybody else was seeing, but she still says that something mysterious is going on regarding the lights, right? And I think that's still evidence towards my position, because the idea isn't that everybody's going to see the exact same thing, is that there is a mystery going on, there's a miracle going on.
Yeah, optical illusions happen. That's expected under naturalism.
What would the optical illusion here be?
Yeah, it's the mysterious trick of the light. That's
But there
what
are
it's
no-
described as. It's described as a mysterious trick of the light.
Light from where? Of interest.
You admitted yourself that it's like this mysterious phenomena, right? The fact that there's like these random optical illusions. You could look to like, for example, there are shows that dive deep into paranormal phenomena, and there's some wacky shit that happens in terms of optical illusions. There will be shadows that take the form of what looks like a human being due to like stains on the wall. Things like this just happen. It's way more likely that there's a naturalistic explanation for this.
Yeah, so
my priors on things like this coming about from natural phenomena or optical illusions are just way higher than like, yeah, there's the fucking ghost of Mary on this one rooftop in Egypt.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I'm not even clear what's being said. So if what's being said is like, it could be an optical illusion because of some mysterious trick of the light. If you read the article I sent, it says that the street lights had been disconnected all around the church for several days. So that's why the source of the light is a mystery. I'm not sure what light they can be misinterpreting.
The source of the
That's
light
like
is the
the first thing.
mystery.
And
If
the
only
second
there was
thing is
like
like,
some big
I'm not
fucking
even
light in
sure
the
why.
sky.
It seems
Yeah,
like it
billion.
seems like there's some implicit. It's like there's some implicit sort of argument
Mm,
you're making, where like
mm.
people to expect natural or natural explanations, sorry, over non-natural ones. But I'm not even sure what naturalism means, right? So like, could you maybe explain what you mean when you say naturalism?
This is such a dodge. You had no problem engaging with it not 2 seconds ago.
No, I'm
It's
just
but
making it
let's
clear
talk
now that I
about you
don't
don't
know what
think
you
that
mean.
there's a source of light that's perhaps, I don't know, above Egypt for let's say like 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. You don't think that maybe there's like one of those?
This happened at night if you're referring to the sun.
Yeah. Do you think that there's like another source of light that exists at night that
Yeah, the moon,
perhaps
yeah, for
is
sure.
above everything,
Yeah, the
specifically
moon
at
for
night?
sure. But like I don't
You
really
think
look at
that
the moon.
that's
I don't really look at the moon.
is that a thing that exists? Do you
Yeah,
think?
but if you let me speak, I don't really look at the
Oh,
moon,
sure. Then there's
right,
the
and
source of
have
the light.
optical illusions from looking at the moon. Maybe you could show me one case, independent of this, where people have optical illusions from looking at the moon specifically, right? Because optical illusions in psychology are usually caused from misinterpreted depth. Okay, I'm going to repeat what I said 3 seconds ago. So optical illusions in psychology are typically caused by misinterpreted depth cues, right? So depth perception being used incorrectly. And I just don't think there are any cases you can show me where misinterpreted depth cues are connected to our perception of the moon, particularly. Right. So I mean, I'm not even clear if this is like a valid argument.
Yeah, let's check.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Shinimoto.
Yeah, sure. So you just want an optical illusion that involves the moon?
Yeah, like the moon specifically.
Yeah, cool. So the moon illusion is a well-known optical illusion, wherein when the moon is close to the horizon, it just appears much bigger.
Yeah, that's just a variation of the Ponzo illusion. Right.
But
So
do you
the
think?
Ponzo illusion,
Wait, so let's just stay linear. What did you
uh,
ask me for?
I said something that involves the moon specifically, and then you gave
Yeah, and
me
did
the
I
moon
provide you
example.
with something that
And the
involves
moon
the moon
example is actually
specifically?
evidence. The moon example is actually evidence for what I'm saying, right? Because
Wait,
it's just a misinterpreted depth
let's
cue,
get
right?
let's get
Optical
clear.
illusion.
Let's
Sorry,
get
sorry,
clear.
sorry. Just let me
Did I
finish.
provide
Let
you
me
the thing
finish.
that you asked
You
me
know,
for?
I grant you provided it to me. I'm saying it's evidence for what I'm
Cool.
saying. The reason why it's evidence for what I'm saying is because the moon example you've given is just a variation of the Ponzo illusion, which is a misinterpreted depth cue, right? So the optical illusions you're showing are like how we perceive distance or height, right? Or closeness to something else, right? Like occlusion or linear height or something, right? What you're saying is optical illusion is that everyone saw this moon and they all immediately saw the light from the moon transform into a womanly figure of Mary, right? And like, I
They
just don't even
didn't all
understand
see
how
that.
that is
That's the
logical.
problem. They did not all see it.
Yeah, so I showed you one person that didn't see it, and they still saw intermittent
You
flashes
said
of light.
everybody
Just the
saw it.
moon. Yeah, so like when I say everyone, I'm referring to the people in the crowd. And then when you say that there are these other individuals that didn't see it, we're referring to the secular person. And the secular person may have not seen Mary, but they still saw inexplicable, intermittent flashes of light, which we don't typically see from the moon. It's like, nonetheless, these explanations you're giving aren't even sufficient to
What
cover
would
the
be your
broad
explanation for why not everybody saw it who went out there to try to see it?
Sorry, repeat one more time.
Yeah, what would be your explanation for why not everybody who went out there to look at it actually saw it? What would be your explanation of that?
I think that it might be based on things like what God wants to do, what God wants to reveal.
So God wanted some people to be able to see it, but others at the exact same time, looking at the exact same place, he wanted them not to see it.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, what's going to be the evidence for that?
What's the evidence for what? That's just an assumption that I have.
But I'm asking you what the evidence is, because we're engaging in an evidentiary analysis of the situation. So what I'm looking for is just the evidence that that actually occurred, or that God desired that.
Yes, like the idea is like we have this evidence, right? Which is the idea that some people saw things and other people didn't, right? And I'm saying like under the hypothesis that God wanted to show people certain things and not others, this evidence is expected. And so like I have some strong degree of belief in the hypothesis given the evidence that I've just updated on. That's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
so why is it expected under your hypothesis that God would want to reveal to some people but not others?
That's just expected. That's just in my background. So like I have this background belief that God.
Yeah, what
wants
does
to
that
show
stem
people.
from which of God's properties does that stem?
It just stems from events in the Bible.
Which ones?
Why is this relevant?
Oh, sorry, what's the evidence that the Bible's true?
The evidence that the biblical narrative. Why is that relevant? I don't even understand
Yeah,
what's being
because
said.
we're just tracing the evidence, right? You're saying that, well, here's the evidence that people actually saw this. And then I asked you, how would you explain the fact that not everybody saw this? You said, because God didn't desire that. I'm asking, okay, well, what's the evidence for that? Then you're appealing to the Bible, so I'm just asking you, what's the evidence for the Bible? You can't
I don't
prove
understand
something
how
by
this works.
citing
You
something
asked
that has
me.
even less evidence for it.
You asked me, right? How do I explain the events? And I gave you my explanation of the events, and now you're like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
just asking,
bamboozling
what's the
to
evidence?
what's the evidence for
Why
your
would we
bad
prefer this
particularly?
explanation over the naturalistic one if there's no evidence for it?
Like the funny thing is, you just haven't provided a naturalistic explanation. Just like there isn't something to propel you.
Yeah, I've already provided it.
No, you didn't. You said it was an
Yeah, I
optical
did.
illusion.
Yeah.
There is no
Wait,
optical
do
illusion.
optical illusions that produce things like this happen?
No, not like this. No, I disagree. I already explained
Oh,
it.
not like this? Wait, so this is actually exactly what we would expect. We would expect that not everybody sees it if it's the case that it's just like some sort of naturalistic optical illusion.
That's not true. That's not true either. Right? That's also not true.
Wait, what? You don't think
Right?
that
So
some people
optical,
see optical illusions and some people don't? What a
yeah, like
crazy position to hold.
the whole point of optical illusions, right, is that they play on depth perception. So like for most optical illusions, it's true that most people are experiencing the same optical illusion. Take for example Rubin's vase, right? Like a very basic optical illusion.
Wait, you're
Unless
making a
you're
universal claim of all optical illusions. Proving one
right.
as an example isn't sufficient. You would need to prove that this holds true
Yeah,
of
but
all
you
of
know what
them.
you said? You said that it's expected, right, that most people would see it, other people wouldn't. If majority of the probability space for the hypothesis is populated by events where, you know, everybody sees it, given that most people do see all
Yeah,
optical
go ahead and
illusion.
demonstrate that this is true for across all optical illusions. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have to. I don't have to. Like,
You
I can
made the
just say,
universal claim, did you not? What's the argument?
no. I said that most people see the same optical illusions, right? Some people may be
Yeah,
unaffected.
what's the evidence for that?
The evidence is that it plays on misinterpreted depth cues, which are innate mostly.
Wait, sorry, do you think that that's an argument?
We can just get like empirics or something.
Yeah, please. That's what I'm asking for. Let's
No problem.
give me the empirics that across all optical illusions, the majority of people see it.
Okay. Let's ask ChatGPT because I can't really be bothered. Are there any empirics that
Good
support
one.
that most people are affected by all optical illusions?
Once this is done, we're going to inspect. Okay.
All right, cool. We're gonna get the statistics now.
Please.
Yep. Give the empirics.
Ian, would you happen to be aware of what?
Yeah, you could like, unironically, you could just look at like each particular illusion, and you could just see that most people are affected.
Yeah, wait, so were most people affected by this one? Also, this is like a phenomenal way to say that you weren't able to find data.
No, I am. It's just really long, right? Because what the data shows,
Yeah.
right?
Let's see the data.
I don't know if
Just drop the title.
yeah, I mean, like the data is just really long, right? Because the explanation is, you said I should show that all people or most people are affected by all optical illusions, but that means I need to study for every particular illusion, right?
Yeah,
I can
that's
show
why
you
it's
like
an
majority.
impossible claim to make. Yeah, that's why it was like a dumb fuck claim to make. That's why like I couldn't believe that you would make such a
That's just
stupid
a
indefensible
symmetry.
claim. That's
It's
why I
just
was like so
it's not
surprised
indefensible.
that you
It's
would
not
make like such an
indefensible, right?
unbelievable blunder.
It's not. It's
So
not
what are going to be
indefensible.
empirics for
The
every
idea,
optical illusion? Go
the
ahead.
idea about why it's not indefensible is because there's a symmetry, between one case and the other case, which is that they both involve misinterpreted depth cues. And so if it's the case that one case, for example, the Menelayer illusion, has a nearly 100% expected rate for people seeing the illusion, and it tests the same thing, the same faculty, which is misinterpreted depth cues, we can assume that these other tests, which also test misinterpreted depth cues, will have a similar result rate. I agree, obviously.
So wait, what are the empirics though? Typically, empirics come in the form of a study.
Okay, is he like confused? If I see like I don't even know. Let's say like I punch somebody.
Me when at ChatGPT, after I beg ChatGPT, please get me out of this bind. ChatGPT comes
There's no
back and
bind.
says, "LOL, I'm so sorry. There's actually no evidence for this view. Like
There
there
is
are no studies
evidence
for
for
this
the view.
one.
The
If there
idea
are
is like
studies, then provide them. You know, if we have
the idea
empirics,
is that there's
let's
just
hear
no
them.
reason to believe that
Yeah.
one particular instance of a misinterpreted depth cue will not report most people seeing it, but others do. Right? That's like something you have embedded in. My claim is just based on the fact that given that they're all misinterpreted depth cues, and given that it's the fact that there's a misinterpreted depth cue, right, that causes people to see the illusion, that there's another misinterpreted depth cue well, that would be what causes people to see the illusion. And most people would, in fact, see the illusion by virtue of misinterpreted depth Q. I think it's pretty simple.
Wait, do you think that this is empirical evidence?
It's an inference from empirical evidence, yeah.
What is the empirical evidence?
The Miller-Lyer illusion results, where 100% of people reported being, seeing Miller-Lyer illusion. So that's the evidence.
Wait, what's the study for this?
I sent it. So like now it's like I don't have the evidence too. I do have the evidence now. You want to see the study?
Where is it? Is it
I
in
sent
general?
it in general like a while ago. I sent it like a minute ago.
Like a minute ago.
Yeah.
Am I fucking stupid? Could somebody link me to it?
Yes. Yes. We're getting somewhere, boys. We're getting somewhere. He's agreed with one thing. Let's go.
Where is it?
I'll send it again. Don't even trip. I'm gonna make it really, really
Oh,
big.
yeah. Oh, sure. Okay, yeah, I see. I was expecting a link. That's my bad.
Oh, expecting Ian.
Yeah.
That was really
Typically, when people send me studies,
ironically.
it is the form that they take. All right, it's a 5-page study. To minimize there's a few works respondents to this material designed to be linear segments of both on the European significantly more illusion supported responses. Oh no, the study disagrees with you.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, wait. So how would you explain? It was found on the Muller-Lyer and the Sander parallelogram illusion. The European and American samples were made significantly more illusion-supported responses than did the non-Western samples. If everybody saw it, how does one group make more responses to the illusion?
Yes, like the idea is like I said, the majority of people would report
You said
seeing
all of
illusions.
them. You said it proved 100%. You said it a study that didn't agree with you, and now it's coming back to fist you.
Stop.
Yeah, this literally
Yeah,
proves my
why does he
point.
keep
Not everybody
repeating?
sees the illusion.
He's trying to purport this false narrative of what I said in order to make it seem as if he's winning the conversation. Just stop. Like if you look at the initial paragraph that I sent to you, it says nearly 100%. It's like you didn't even have to go do your independent research. You could have just seen it said nearly 100%. It also says that in some
You
cultures,
said
aesthetic exposure-
100%.
Okay,
You
go
said
ahead.
it.
You have a lot more important stuff to say. So go
You
ahead. Yeah.
said it. You said 100%.
No. I said majority. If I
No,
said
you said what?
100%,
You
that
can't
doesn't override the
gaslight it,
fact that I
dude.
said majority.
It's being
That's not gaslight.
recorded.
When you said
You said
that
100%.
when you said that it's expected,
Everybody
I said that
heard you.
majority. Why does he keep speaking over me?
Do you think that everybody in this chat has fucking
Why
brain
would I
damage?
send a study? Why would I send a study that says nearly 100% if I'm trying to claim that 100% of people saw it? Why would I send that?
Wait, so let's just get clear. Let's just form it as a conditional. Would you agree that if in the end it is 100%, that the fact that you can't even remember the words that you said 5 seconds ago is like really strong evidence against the truth of Christianity?
I mean, it's just
Specifically, like the fact that you're making like basic
not strong
cognitive
evidence.
blunders is
As
exactly what we would
evidence
expect if
the
we came
evidence
from
these aren't even
naturalism.
relevant.
But it's like highly unexpected that God
The
gave
evidence
us
these aren't even
logical
relevant.
faculties. Like we would just expect that we wouldn't be making like basic cognitive blunders about the things that we said if in fact there was a God who wanted us to use our cognitive faculties.
I mean, like, I just deny that inference. But I mean, look, what's important is I'm not going to let you divert again from the point, right? So, like, the point is, let's say that I did say 100%. I retract that, even though I didn't say 100%. I might have said it once initially, and then I said majority, right? So I retract that, sure, right? Majority of people report seeing the illusion. That's the truth of the study, right? And the reasons to why some people, or some cultures, had higher rates of people reporting the illusion than other other cultures, is because the illusion is based on how we perceive things. Right, so misinterpreted depth cues for the last time, and those are obviously going to be subject to things like social cultural context, right? Like if I'm in an African place where maybe there's not much rectilinear environments, obviously I'm going to be less acquainted with experiencing or seeing things like buildings or straight edges, and so the Muller-Lyer illusion will be less efficacious on me. But that doesn't mean it's not efficacious; it's just less efficacious than if I was in an American environment. It's like all you've really done here
What
is
the
try to
fuck are you
prevaricate.
talking about, Doug? This is so funny. Wait, like if you actually look at the Muller-Lyer illusion, and then you're like, yeah, this makes it's more effective. What the fuck? Like you either see, oh, I know what the problem is. You don't know what the Muller-Lyer illusion even is. I actually think we actually have to get this in chat so everyone can appreciate how stupid what you're saying is.
I'm going to let you finish, and I'm going to let you dig your own grave, because you're just saying a lot of retarded stuff right now.
Yeah, the fucking lines on the paper, you know, they're
Yeah, they
more
do correlate.
effective.
Like, you know, the
for
buildings, right? You know, buildings, they have like the inside corner. Actually, you know, it would be better if I just send a photo because I don't want to like make it
fuck.
unclear.
Somebody needs
Buildings
to.
and Miller liar illusion.
Hey yo, can somebody drop the Muller liar illusion?
Yeah, I'll drop the Miller liar illusion and it demonstrates exactly
Yeah,
what
no
I'm saying.
pictures. So
Okay, so
so we
look,
now have two explanations on the table.
wait,
We
just
now
look.
we have
Drop the Miller liar
explanation
illusion.
one that it's an optical illusion, which is supported by the data because not
No, it's
everybody
not.
sees it in an optical
No, it's not.
illusion.
No, it's
Or
not.
you have the second one, which is that you know, a lot of people seeked to find God. They wanted to see if Mary was actually on the rooftop, and you know, it says in the Bible that those who seek will find. And then God just didn't reveal himself to these people. He didn't reveal Mary to these people. So your explanation is actually contradictory to the biblical narrative.
That's not. I mean, that's not true. You're just interpreting the verse incorrectly, right? That same verse says, "Knock and the door shall open, or shall be opened onto you." Right?
Mhm.
But not everybody that knocks has the door opened onto them. So you're just interpreting the verse incorrectly. But I mean, look, let's not divert
Wait, so,
again.
but to be
It's like
clear,
third
you do think
version,
that there's like
third
people who like seeked, like they went out there, they
It's like
traveled
third version.
cross countries,
It's like
across the
third version.
world
It's
in
like
order
third
to
version.
see whether
It's like
or
third
not there
version. I
was
mean, look, if you
actually
go
this
back to
type
the
of
image,
illusion
if you
there.
go back to the image, he said to
And
me,
then
right, that
God
he
just
doesn't
like
really know what
simply
I'm
didn't
speaking
reveal
about.
himself to these
Yeah, and I
people.
know, I agree. I mean, look, you know, that's fine. You can believe that. I mean, what I'm saying is, if we go back to the
Well,
point
it's a
to
question of
remain linear,
evidence. Wait, so are
we
you
go back to the
conceding?
point to remain linear, right? This is the image that I wanted to send of the Miller liar illusion, the one that you were asking for. And you said you didn't know what I was speaking about because I was mentioning how it's affected by your exposure to rectilinear environments like buildings and cities and towns and stuff, right? But if you look at the Miller liar illusion, right, the form of the illusion is isomorphic to the inside of a building versus the outside of a building, right? And so what causes the misinterpreted depth Q are the what's it called, the lines, right, where they meet at each point, right, vertice of the point or whatever of the line, whatever,
Wait,
right?
so
And
why would
so
this be different between
if you're
cities and
exposed,
towns? Why would
if
that
you're
be different?
exposed to these urban buildings, it makes sense that you're going to be tricked by the illusion because you're more so
Why?
acquainted with these things. I mean,
Why
that's
would
just
that
what the
make
studies show.
sense?
What part doesn't make sense? The fact that these are what the studies show.
Well, with the facts that living in one environment would just like which environment has more like fucking walls? It seems like, you know,
Uh-huh.
it seems like in order to have A, you would need C. I don't see the
See,
situation where you're like more disposed to A and you just have no fucking idea what C looks like.
it's just because you haven't seen C, right? It's like the idea is like if you haven't seen the buildings,
There are
you
all
would
these buildings, you've just never been inside of one. What the fuck are you talking about?
So it tested people from over 15 different cultures, right? And like many different cultures do not have urbanness in their environment, right? They do not have these buildings that take the same shape, right? That the urban first world countries do. Like that's not like an issue.
Wait, so
I think
your hypothesis is that these people they live in an environment with lots of buildings. They've just never been inside of a single one of them?
okay, no, that's not the idea,
Because
right?
so on the diagram that you sent me, the C version of this diagram is what it looks like inside of a building, and then the A diagram is what it looks like outside of a building. So you'd be saying that they're more exposed to A than they are to C. So you think that these people live in an environment with innumerable buildings. They just haven't seen fucking any of them. Like
No, that's
they've
not.
never been inside of like a single one of them.
No. So obviously, the American people live in an environment with numerous buildings, and they have been inside of them. That's why the American people report seeing the illusion more, right? But people from different cultures, like third world countries, because it tests over 15 different cultures, would be less affected by the illusion because they do not have these sorts of buildings in their environment. So that's what's being said for like the last time.
Wait, so you do think that these people have just never been inside of them?
Never been inside of these sorts of buildings. Yeah, I think that's plausible.
What the fuck? That's absurd. So you think that they are regularly exposed to the exterior, but never to the interior of these buildings. So you
See,
think
like,
that,
no,
like, to put this
they're
into
not exposed to
perspective,
any.
saying
They're not
that
exposed
like,
to any.
imagine a person lived in Manhattan, but
They're not
they've just
exposed to
never
any.
been inside of a building in their entire lives.
And
Like, what
okay,
the
so
fuck
like,
are you talking about?
okay, so I mean, you're so confused. I don't even understand how you've like made this connection. Like, what I'm saying is, let's like partition it. Let's partition the study's findings into two groups, right? We have the American group. Let's just say we have like the I don't know, the Ghanaian group. If I don't know if they tested Ghana, we have the Ghanaian group, right? It's obvious, right, that in certain areas of Ghana there are less buildings, right? Less buildings of this type They may have buildings, just not of this type. In America is pretty urban all across the board. They always have these sorts of buildings. So the Americans who are more used to seeing these sorts of buildings will likely be more affected by the study than people that are less acquainted with seeing sorts of buildings, right? Because the appearance of the lines for the Ghanaian people that do not live in these types of buildings or are not acquainted with these sorts of buildings will not make them perceive the lines any differently.
Well, and to be clear, is this analysis that exists in the study? Or are you like making this up?
I could probably find it for you, but if I do find it for you, right, you're gonna have to like move off this point because this is like really dumb. Not gonna lie.
Well, okay. Well, as long as we agree that this is not empirically supported, what you just said, there's like no evidence that that's the case.
Okay. I'll get this. I'll go and study right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the one that you cited, preferably. Like, just find me in the 5-page study.
Yeah.
Thing that you cited.
All right. Cool.
Ian, so can we get some
Let's get me on the African guy, please.
Yeah, shut your mouth, you scum. Anyways, so Ian, back to you.
Oh,
So, what's your opinion on the debate so far? What difficulty is it?
I think your mic must be like really inexpensive. It's probably like a pretty cheap microphone. It keeps on cutting out like the last like 3 seconds of what you say.
No, give me a second. It's because I have bad Wi-Fi. Give me a second.
Okay,
cool. Wait. I already found it. Unironically, we didn't have to do this. This is from the exact same study that I'm speaking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read it because I think I like to myself talk. So if you just look in general.
Shut your mouth. Testing, 3.
Anyways, if you look in general, because we're going back to the debate now, he says, we have reported here a study that reveals significant differences across cultures in susceptibility to several geometric or optical illusions. It should be stressed that these differences are not racial differences. They are differences produced by the same kinds of factors that are responsible for individual differences in illusion susceptibility, namely differences in experiences. The findings we have reported and the findings of others we have reviewed point to the conclusion that to a substantial extent we learn to perceive that in spite of the phenomenally absolute character of our perceptions, they're determined by perceptual inference habits, and that various inference habits are differentially likely in different societies. For all mankind, the basic process of perception is the same. Only the contents differ, and these differ only because they reflect different perceptual inference habits. Right?
Yeah, no, I agree with all of that. But what I'm asking for is where in that does it mention like anything about like the experience of like buildings or the shape of any of that stuff? Like I'm asking like specifically for the example that you gave, whether or not that's empirically supported, or if your description was just completely made up.
So you agree that it could be affected by experience and
yeah, because that is like literally my entire argument is that it's an optical illusion. This is what's expected. You would expect some people would see it and some people wouldn't see it if it is indeed an optical illusion.
I found it. I mean, look, I thought it'd be pretty clear once I showed that it's affected by your environment and experiences. And it's obvious that certain people just do not have experience with this sort of buildings or these sorts of lines. But look, I'll just read out this bit, which is like more explicit in what I'm saying because you can't interpret it. We offered quite another hypothesis as a source for predicting different cultural susceptibilities to the horizontal vertical illusions. This hypothesis argues that another aspect of the physical environment of peoples, specifically the presence or absence of broad horizontal vistas, is crucial in shaping the visual inference habit that leads to horizontal vertical illusion susceptibility. If one lives in an environment that provides many opportunities for looking at horizontal expanses, one should become subject to the tendency to infer long frontal plane horizontal distances from short vertical retinal images. This inference habit, we argue, should contribute to the horizontal vertical illusion. So I mean, that's like really explicit.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm telling you. This is like the linchpin of my argument is that people see different optical illusions. That's why some people saw this and some people didn't, which means that this is evidence. The fact that some people saw it and some people didn't is more expected on the hypothesis that it is an optical illusion.
So I mean, like, no, that's not what the study is saying. It's saying how susceptible you are to it, right? So people that live in the environments that do not have these lines are less susceptible, but nonetheless, they are still very susceptible. They're just less susceptible.
Wait, but where does it see that they see it?
I'll find it, man.
So even let's go back to the Wikipedia page that you were citing. For this specifically, Cynthia Nelson agrees that she sees lights. She says, yeah, I saw lights there, but she doesn't see like the merry apparition I can just read the passage for you. The only secular English language account of the events was provided by Cynthia Nelson, a professor of anthropology at the American University of Cairo. She visited the church site on several occasions, including April 15th, 1968. Another week later, near the end of April, and on the 1st of June, 1968, despite reports of regular appearances of the Virgin Mary, Nelson did not see anything that could be identified clearly as such. Instead, she only saw a few intermittent flashes of light that she considered to be headlights, and later a glow of ambiguous shape shining through the palm trees. So she did see something, but she didn't see Mary. So this is exactly in line with the hypothesis that it's caused by something natural.
Yeah, that's just not true. Like, I don't even know what to say.
Wait, so
Like,
what you provided a study that says that people are going to see something in it, but they're not necessarily going to see the illusion itself. That's exactly what happened in this scenario. So what the study
That's
that
not what
you
I said.
provided is actually evidence. It is evidence for the fact that it's an optical illusion in the first place.
That's not true. It's like what I did say
Yeah, it is.
like last time.
Wait. So did what you provide evidence that people are going to see something, but not everybody is going to see the illusion for the illusion?
No. The evidence I provided does not say that. The evidence I provided says, look, we've tested many different cultures. In the American cultures, a lot of people, let's just say like for like a vague test, let's say like 95% of people report seeing the illusion. In these like less, urban cultures, let's say like 73% report seeing the illusion. So majority from both cultures report seeing the illusion. But the reason as to why the American people see more than the others is because of their perceptual environment. Right, that's what the study is saying. It's not saying anything about people not seeing the illusion. Like, why would they include that in the results if they didn't actually see the illusion?
Wait, you're saying everybody saw the illusion? Like everybody saw like the deceptive effects of the illusion? Like 100% of people saw the deceptive effects of the illusion?
No, sorry. If I said everybody saw the illusion, that
When
was
you say everybody saw it, do you mean like everybody saw like the lines on the paper?
no. What I mean is like everybody was exposed to the illusion, right? And some people may have not been affected by the illusion, but for the most part, people were affected by the illusion.
But you agree that not everybody saw it.
Not everybody saw what? The actual illusion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's not a response.
Oh, okay. And in this case, did everybody see the apparition of Mary?
No.
So then this is exactly what we would expect if the apparition of Mary is an optical illusion caused by tricks of the light. We would expect that not everybody would see it. We wouldn't expect that not everybody who looked at it would see it if it was a magical apparition caused by God himself. We would
I mean,
expect everyone to see it.
like, not only have you not explained how it's even an optical illusion, given that there's no misinterpreted depth views going on. Like, the second thing is, like, no, as a matter of fact, if it was an optical illusion, we would expect majority of people to see. We would expect Cynthia Nelson to see. We would expect all of these people to see. The fact that people report seeing different things isn't an evidence for the fact of it being an optical illusion, right?
Wait, I
So,
just want to. I want to agree with this. I want to go hand in hand with C to the finish line on this one. So we agree that the majority of people didn't see it. The majority of
no,
people who
they
were
did.
looking at it didn't see it
No,
because
they
Cynthia
did.
Nelson still saw lights, but
No,
she
the
didn't see
majority of people
anything
did.
that could be identified as Mary.
No, like, let's just be clear. Like, so evidence, right, raises the posterior of a hypothesis above opposing or contrary hypotheses, right? So I can agree that majority of people saw it, and I can agree that there are some that didn't see
Wait,
it.
did
But
they or
that's
did they
expected.
not?
That's expected under both hypotheses. It's not like more expected under it being an optical illusion. It's
Did they
expected
see
under
it?
both.
Did they not see it?
The majority of people saw it, obviously.
The majority of people saw it. What's the source for that?
Fuck,
Calm
bro. Hey,
down.
let me go get the fucking source again, bro.
Yeah, the source, the majority of people saw the Mary illusion.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna go to ChatGPT again. By the way, guys, for anyone that might be listening to this debate, if it gets uploaded, this is the greatest, sort of source, ChatGPT. If you guys want to get anything, any evidence within the debate, just go to ChatGPT, and it will never do you wrong. Just be
Baldy,
clear.
Baldy, over there. What's it like to have no hair? Is it hot or is it cold? I don't know, cause I'm not bald.
Anyways, um,
Boldy. Over
Nah, I mean,
there.
look, yeah,
To
that's
have
turn
her,
out to be. It doesn't actually turn out to be like a precise count, right? But most people or most individuals say that it varies between thousands to hundreds of thousands.
It's off by like several orders of magnitude.
Perhaps, yeah.
This is like probably the shittiest data I've ever heard in my entire life. If the
That's a lot.
sample size, the potential sample size, is not just not known, but it varies by a scale factor of like 1,000.
You know, like what is known for sure is that we have this secular person that went and still experienced this mysteriousness, even if they didn't see exactly what everybody else did.
She saw lights. Like her seeing lights is exactly what we would expect. Right,
No.
because if it's an optical illusion that's caused by lights, presumably she would see lights.
Yeah, lights from where? Because it's not from the moon. When I look at the moon, I don't see flashes of light unless I have like a schizo episode.
So we have two hypotheses on the table.
Yep.
I think it's actually far more likely that the lights come from light sources that are made by the church anyway, because the church was literally selling pictures of this. They were making money off of this. So
Yeah,
I think it makes sense that they would have lights set up in order to cause what looks like this apparition.
Yeah, you're confused. We can just wrap this up here. I'll just give a conclusion.
Wait, do you have but like what's your defeater to that?
I already said like multiple times that the light sources around the church were dead for multiple days. So that whole like whatever mumbo jumbo is like irrelevant. But I mean, look,
what I'm telling you is that it's just way more likely, insofar as the church is selling images to tourists. They're selling this in order to make money. They're profiteering off of this. That they could easily just manufacture it themselves by setting up light sources that shine through the palm trees and make it look like there's light.
Yeah, so the secular person that went to investigate is wrong in their evaluation of the situation.
That's exactly what the secular person says. Let's read it again. She visited the church site on several occasions, including the 15th of April. Another week later, at the end of April, and on the 1st of June, 1968, despite reports of regular appearances of the Virgin Mary, Nelson did not see anything that could be identified clearly as such. Instead, she saw only a few intermittent flashes of light that she considered to be headlights, and later a glow of ambiguous shapes shining through the palm trees.
Do you think this is a response to what I was saying?
Yeah, like a direct response. Insofar as what it establishes is that it's perfectly in line with the hypothesis that there's some sort of lights that are being manufactured by the church itself, that she would see lights but not Mary, that she would see flashes of light shining through but not Mary. Under your hypothesis, how would you explain the fact that the church itself was selling pictures to tourists?
Yeah, I agree. Under the hypothesis that there are lights, right? The evidence is way expected. But once we update on the fact that the person herself says that the light sources around the church have been dead for several days, where had been is present continuous, which means it's still dead at the time in which she's speaking. We just update the hypothesis to 0 because there just aren't any lights that could cause this.
What I'm telling you is that the church could have set up lights that are not like the regular church lights. You know, even if the church lights themselves, like the lights, the explicit lights around are not on, doesn't mean that they couldn't set up other lights. But do you think this is an answer to my question?
Oh, so what you're saying to me, bro, is that...
Do you think that this is an answer to my question?
What you're saying, bro, is that the church...
Do you think...
Wait, bro, let me...
Do you think that this is an answer to my question?
Bro, what you say is that...
do you think that this is an answer to my question?
What was your question so I can...
Yeah, my question is, what is your explanation for the fact that the church was selling pictures of this to make money?
To evangelize and spread the gospel. Now, what I was saying...
Does selling shit evangelize? Does it spread the gospel to sell shit to people who already believe?
They could also be selling it, like monetarily speaking, so that they can have money to support the church. But I mean, look.
Oh yeah.
Now back in my accent.
Well, wait. Could they be manufacturing the entire illusion so they can have money for the church?
I mean, like that's like unclear. Like I don't think so.
You don't think so? It's not possible.
It's possible, but is there like a non-zero probability?
So it's possible, but you don't think that there's a non-zero probability?
Yeah, like those two things are not entailments and not even by conditions.
So is it you could hold both, that there's a 0 probability, but also that it's possible?
At 100%, yes.
Can you give me an example?
Suppose we're trying to select some number from the set of real numbers, or something. Actually, let's say something like this. We're trying to select a number from the set of real numbers between 1 and 2. If you assign a uniform prior, like the probability that you select any particular real number is 0, obviously. But like it's still possible that you could select a number, like a number could be selected. It's like the inference from it being possible to there being a like non-zero probability, like obviously flawed. But I mean, look, what I was going to say is like it sounds like what you're saying to me is like,
Wait, how many possible worlds are there wherein you select a specific number?
how many possible worlds are there where you select a specific number?
Yeah.
I'm not clear on what you're saying. I mean, there are like many possible worlds, like infinitely many possible worlds.
Oh, so clearly there isn't going to be like a 0 probability.
I mean, like, look out. Like, I mean, you can search this up in your own time. Like, what I was going to say is, like, it sounds like what you're saying is, like, the church, created this whole illusion, right?
Yeah.
And like, they
My
created
credence
the
is just like way
lights
higher for that. Yeah.
and all of this, and like, even the person that went there to investigate, despite saying that there were no light sources, right? They had it really, really hidden, bro. In the palm tree, they couldn't
Wait,
see the light sources, bro.
Did she have access to the rooftop of the church?
Pardon me?
Did she have access to the rooftop of the church itself?
I'm unclear on how that's even relevant.
Because if they were manufacturing the illusion, they could use lights on top of the church itself. So I'm asking. You said that she disconfirmed the possibility that they manufactured it. I'm just asking, did she have access to the rooftop? Did she investigate the rooftop?
I'm sure that she could see the rooftop. I'm not sure you could like climb onto
She could see the rooftop. Okay.
Yeah, man. Like, let's just look at like a regular church. Hold on, church GIF. Let's see if we can find.
Yeah, can I get the source that said that she had access to the rooftop? I would love that.
No, I don't think she did. To be honest.
Oh, cool. Wait, so then
look at this church.
Why would I ever believe?
Look at this church. Look at this church.
What is the case is that people manufacture falsehoods to make money genuinely all the time. Right? The opioid industry manufactured a fake thing in order to make like tons of money.
I mean, look at the church. Look at the church. I mean,
look at the church. Did somebody pour water on you? Look at the church.
I mean, look at the church. I mean, look at the church. Look at the church. I mean, look
at the church.
Calm down.
Look at the church. I mean, look, he's like a spur.
Look at the church. Look at the church.
I mean, look, what I'm saying is like if you look at the church roof, right? Like it's really unclear how she would begin to investigate the roof of the church. Maybe they like attach harnesses to her.
Oh.
She like start climbing in the middle of the night to see if there are any hidden wires or something. I don't think they did that personally. But like I also think that your hypothesis is incredibly unlikely, right?
Yeah.
If they were
well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh my god, you just fucking keep talking, dumb fuck. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Calm down.
Dude. Shut the fuck up, man.
It's gonna be okay.
Bro. Okay, look, what I was saying, sorry,
it's going to be okay. Calm down.
Stop fucking talking. Is that you're saying that they set up hidden lights in the palm trees and stuff like that, right? That were big enough so that the illusion could be visible to multiple different people. And to me, that seems unlikely. If the person that went there to investigate says that the light sources around the church had been dead, so there were just no light sources around the church because they had been dead, according to her. Maybe it's the case that there was one that she missed or something. That's just
on top of the roof specifically, yeah.
Sorry, what?
On top of the roof specifically, right? This could literally be like a Pepper's ghost.
Okay, I mean, look, bro, it's like I don't even know what you're saying. Let's just see.
So Pepper's ghost is an optical illusion that involves light. You create an image, and then you put it through like a triangular piece of light, and then it will project what looks like an illusion. You can project it onto things. So insofar as she didn't have access to the rooftop, it's far more likely. I just have way higher credence that a group of people lied to make money than I do that,
Yeah, can you just show me?
Yahweh, the Bronze Age deity, is real. The one who sacrificed himself to himself to lift the curse that was set by himself after the woman made from a rib was coerced by a talking snake to eat from a magic tree. Right? Like I just have much higher credences in the fact that like some people lie to make money than I do in literal magic.
Cheers. So look, guys, we're gonna go to get like an example of the Pepper's ghost, right? Because like I want to see what the Pepper's ghost even looks like. Hold on a second. I can't even find any.
Lotia, over there. What's it like to be so ass? Is it hot? Is it cold? I don't know, cause I'm not ass.
Alright, cool. I mean,
wait, who's this? Who the fuck is this guy? Who is this guy?
He's the GOAT.
What's his name?
like
Name
like
is
his actual
Free.
name, or you want to say Discord name?
Yeah, his name's Free.
Free?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were
Okay.
talking about Free, but he is actually the goat. Lol. That's really funny.
No, this
Okay, I mean-
like this low IQ Neanderthal. I'm curious what this guy's name is.
Yeah, his name is Free. Also known as Free the Goat.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
he's in fact the goat. He's the philosophy king. Actually, I mean,
Yeah.
look, if he was one to bang you, this debate would be over like really, really fast.
Yeah, really, really quickly.
Like really, really fast.
Mhm. I'm sure.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm gonna
Oh,
just
wait,
take
I'm
this from like
muted.
this
Let's
random
go.
video. Wait. Let me just wrap this up quickly. I mean, so like this is the Pepper's Ghost that he's speaking about, right? Like this image is projected, like it looks like kind of like a hologram. And you're saying that Miss Cynthia Nelson went to this place and she saw no such hologram.
Well, wait, but
And
I'm
all
saying
she
that if it
saw
was
were
on the
intimate
rooftop,
flashes
she
of
would
light.
see exactly what she saw. I'm actually convinced that it probably was a Pepper's ghost. When you compare what Pepper's ghost looks like to the picture on the rooftop, it looks like genuinely identical.
So I mean, like if that's true, and
Wait,
it
would you
looks like
mind
why did she
posting
say-
like the
why did
picture
she
of what
say
she
that?
saw
Why did
on
she
the
say
roof?
that?
Could you
Because-
post the
why did she
picture of
say- why did
Our
she
Lady
say,
of Zayatone? Could you
I'm
post
gonna
that?
punch you. Yeah. Why do you do this, bro? Look,
See.
if it's a Pepper's ghost, then why is the image ambiguous according to her? Right? Surely the Pepper's ghost illusion.
Yeah,
is
because Pepper's ghost
particularly
only works from some
fruitful.
angles. From other angles, it doesn't work.
Man. Okay, I'm gonna search one more time, bro, because it's been a while. And like you just searched up light involved optical illusions and you thought this was gonna be like a gotcha. I mean, look, it depends on the angle. Clearly she looked at it from the angles where the people were reporting to see it. Clearly she looked at it from the angles that were different from the people that were reporting to see it. She looked at it from all angles and she still reports, right, that it's ambiguous. So you know what I mean? Like
She reports
obviously,
flashes
you're
of light. If she wasn't looking at it from the right angle, then she simply wouldn't have seen it.
why would she look at it from one angle and not the angle that everybody else was
Because
seeing
if
it
it comes in flashes of light, then she'll only see it if she's at the right angle when the light flashes.
Well, let me explain something to you, buddy, pal, little one. If people are saying that they see a tiger, right, and they're all pointing forward, right, I'm not gonna look diagonal to them to a different situation to see, where's the tiger, bro? I don't see the tiger, bro. Obviously, you don't see the fucking tiger because you're not looking where everybody else is looking. If she's going to see the illusion, she's gonna look where everybody else is looking.
If you
and
look
she still
for a ghost
sees
from the
the
side,
flashes
you'll
of
see
light.
just a flash of light.
What?
Yeah, you'll see like random flashes of light if you look at the Pepper's ghost illusion from weird angles.
Cool. Bet. Let's conclude, bro. Low tier. I mean, look, I want to make it clear first of all, I don't
He's trying to
endorse this
speak it
argument.
into existence.
This argument is like really, really low tier. I don't think
Well, it's
the
just
argument
obvious,
works at
right?
all.
Like we have two hypotheses on the table. Hypothesis
bro,
one
I'm gonna
is
rule. I'm
that
gonna
a
rule,
group
bro.
of people manufactured an
Bro.
illusion to
I'm
make money. They
concluding,
were
buddy.
literally
I'm
selling the
concluding.
photograph of
Fuck
it,
your
and it
priors.
pulled massive
Fuck your priors. I don't
tourists.
give a damn about
A
your
massive
priors.
number
Fuck
of
your
tourists
priors.
came to their church,
your
at which
priors,
point
bro.
they sold
Fuck.
them things.
He's a spurg.
So that's
He's a
exactly what we would
spurg.
expect
He's
if
a spurg.
indeed what was
He's a
happening.
spurg.
Calm
He's a
down.
spurg.
Calm
Stop talking. You're a spurg,
down.
dude.
Calm
You're a
down.
spurg. I was concluding. If you want to conclude after me, that's perfectly fine.
Calm down.
Okay, so like as I was saying, right? So in conclusion, man, I don't think this argument works. I think this argument is like really, really horrible. For like many reasons. But I wanted to use it against Mr. Ian here. Because number one, I don't really do this topic, so it's the only argument I really have at my disposal that I feel like comfortable defending. And two, I just don't think he had the intellectual apparatus necessary to dismantle, the ticking time bomb. That was the argument I just presented in the debate, in the marketplace of ideas. And so, look, I mean, I don't care about your priors or anything. I don't have any reason to prefer naturalism over non-naturalism. So when you say I prize for naturalism, I don't really care. What else? I don't really care for like anything else you were saying. If it was an optical illusion, right? We'd expect that most people would see it, and maybe some people don't see it. Perfectly fine, right? And so the evidence, right? Given that most people see it and most people didn't see it, that's consistent with it being optical illusion. That's perfectly fine, right? But the difference between the two is that optical illusions are based on misinterpreted depth cues, right? That's the idea. And so there are no misinterpreted depth cues that are going on if there are no light sources, right? Which he initially agreed with, or like seemingly were different over, because he was talking about like the moon or the sun, where he was like, "Oh, look, the moon, bro." And like I point out to him, like when I look at the moon when I'm outside or farming on a cliffside near my house, I'm looking at the moon. I don't see intermittent flashes from the moon, right? It's like I don't even know how the moon would in any way be relevant, causally speaking, to the appearance of intermittent flashes. And then he searched up on ChatGPT, because we're both ChatGPT goons. Searched up what optical illusions involve light, and he got to Pepper's ghost, and he was like, "Oh, it could be
Pepper's
Pepper's
Ghost is in
going
it's
for
just a famous
the-
optical illusion. It's in
the church-
Disneyland.
the
I heard about
church,
it from
you know-
Jenny Nicholson on YouTube.
Cheers." And he was like, "The church, bro, the church set up the secret lights in the palm tree, and then they used the Pepper's Ghost to make the people see what they didn't actually see." And I was like, "Okay, cool, bro. If it's a Pepper's Ghost, right? Then why didn't Cynthia Nelson see the Pepper's Ghost, right? Because clearly, from a specific angle, it's very, very obvious what you're looking at." And he was like, "Oh, what did she look at it from the right side, bro? Right side." And I was like, "Bro, why would she look at it from the right side if nobody else is looking at it from the right side? She look at it from all angles, right, to get like a holistic picture of what's being said, right, what's being shown, right? And even from that sort of viewpoint, she does not see anything even remotely resembling or being like what's it called, unambiguously resembling Mary." And then he was like, "Bro, it's from right side, intermittent flash, bro. You don't understand, from Disneyland, bro." And I was like, "Okay, cool." You know, so I decided to conclude. So yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Fair
Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and give my closing statement on this. We have two hypotheses in front of us. Let's evaluate which one's more likely. My hypothesis is pretty simple. It's just that a group of people came together, manufactured the illusion, set up the lights in order to make money. That's exactly what we would expect to see insofar as these people had unique access to their church. They had access to their church in a way where they would be able to set up an illusion like this. They had the incentive to do it. They were literally selling pictures. They were selling pictures of the illusion in order to draw tourists. I encourage everyone, if you're curious, go and look up what it looks like. Look up Pepper's Ghost. It just looks like a Pepper's Ghost illusion, pretty straight up. And Pepper's Ghost illusions only work from specific angles. If you see them at the wrong angle, then you're not going to see it right. So there's just like a couple of things to wrap up. Your main question is, why didn't Cynthia Nelson see it? The main answer is easy. I gave it to you in the debate, but I grant that because you got concussed so hard in this debate, you probably don't remember my response, so I'll just repeat it for you here. Cynthia Nelson didn't see it because she would have been seeing it from the wrong angle. If it comes in only flashes of light, we would expect only some people to see it, but not others. If it's only there for such a short period of time, can someone muzzle this animal?
For real.
Okay. I don't think anyone cares or heard that, but I'll just keep on going. Insofar as it's a Pepper's Ghost illusion, the exact thing that we would expect is that some people would see it and others wouldn't, which is exactly what the data is, conveniently enough. The alternative hypothesis is that Yahweh, the Bronze Age deity, exists, and that he sacrificed himself to himself in order to raise the curse that was set by himself after a woman made from a rib was cursed by a talking snake to eat from a magic tree. The alternative hypothesis is literal magic. Your priors should be extremely low in literal magic, insofar as it's a violation of the laws of physics, the things that you should have incredible high credence in, because every single thing in your life works off of the laws of physics. That just means that the priors and the probability and like the Bayes theorem analysis is going to massively favor the hypothesis that events that we know happen, people lie to make money, happened, as opposed to things we don't know happened. Magic exists and God willed for the illusion to appear, but not everybody saw it because he didn't want everyone to see it. He wants some people, but not all the people to see it.
Exactly, bro.
You would need to affirm that, this thing that you have no priors for, in order to affirm that what he's saying is true.
Yeah, by the way, guys, outside of the debate, there's no reason to believe that
Wait, you already gave your closing.
Huh?
You already gave your closing.
Yeah,
He said outside of the debate.
I just want to talk outside
sure.
of the debate.